Welcome to the Peaceful Home. I have an empty nest for the first time in 38 years of marriage. So this is going to be a new adventure. We had adult kids come back transitioning to college during COVID. And in the last 3 years, our daughter, son-in-law, and their 3 children have stayed with us. They just bought a home and moved out this weekend. So now it's time for me to get some things in order. Come along with me and I'll show you what needs to be done in my pantry. Started pulling some things out and it really is a mess. But Joanna has cleared out all of these shelves, this cupboard. She also had things in these 2 baskets. I've got several goals for clearing out this space and getting it reorganized. So let's jump right in. I will also be moving this entire cabinet back over here. We moved it out of the way so the kids could have their refrigerator here. So it's gonna change a lot. Because I had several hours available, I decided to do this all at once. And I did bring in a folding table to set up, and that helped tremendously just to have space to empty things. You can take everything out at once and then go through it, or you can begin to go through and evaluate things as you take them out. This is the perfect opportunity to clean. I practically had to crawl inside of these corner cabinets. I do like these organizers for canned goods. I've had them for years. I'll link them below. They are nice if you have the space. I'm just wondering, how is it possible for one family, in this case 2 people, to have this much stuff? It's crazy. Now, I will tell you, I'm at the point where I'm getting a little overwhelmed. And this is very common. I see this in clients all the time, and it happens to me. I would suggest that if you get easily overwhelmed, that you start by doing 1 shelf at a time. Pull off the whole shelf, clean it, get rid of expired food, put everything back. But in this case, I have so much to do in this kitchen. I wanted everything clean, and I have this whole new cabinet. And actually that's what's tripping me up a bit, because I have extra space. I even have 2 more drawers behind me that are empty now. So I'm not just putting things back, I'm shuffling things. I'm giving things a new home. So that complicates it slightly. Because we have open shelving, things get dusty very quickly. So I've been wiping down the outsides of containers, and at this point I am dividing like the way I would see a supermarket. So my beans and rice, my condiments, all of my canned goods, my cereals and crackers, etc. Begin to separate and get everything in a group. I'm gonna start doing that and putting things on the shelf. Even if it's not where they're going to go permanently, I want to get an idea of what I have and where it's fitting, and I can always move things later. I absolutely love Lazy Susans. They are amazing. 1 spin and you can see everything. Also, acrylic containers are amazing, and baskets for the things that you would rather hide. Just make sure you're labeling. I will leave links below. I love using mason jars for just about everything. And I do love these white lids. I like these a lot better than the canning lids. If you're canning, that's what they're perfect for. But for storage, I really like the plastic. And it just makes a really nice tight seal. I don't have lids that are getting rusty. And you know, they're in 2 pieces as well. But these are my absolute favorite. These wood ball jar lids. They've got a seal around the edge so it kind of suctions on. And I'm going to replace this. I only have a couple more. I'm going to order some more. I'll leave the link below if you're interested. You just pop it on and it seals and it looks so pretty. For most things in your pantry, it is going to be easier to have the original box, put it on the shelf. But if you like to decant, meaning you take everything out of the original box, put it in a glass jar or a canister, that really looks nice on the shelf, but there's always a payoff. So it looks great, but it takes extra time and work to take everything out of the original container. The other thing is, if your container cannot hold 100% of what comes in the package, you're going to have leftovers. Now, I do decant for my baking goods. So brown sugar, sugar, powdered sugar, those are all in these containers. And that means I have to decant, and I almost always have leftovers. Before, I did not have a spot for these leftovers. I literally found 3 things half full of flour because I kept just tucking them in a corner and I didn't know where they were. So now I'm going to make sure to label the basket, and I'm going to put all my baking refills in one spot. 2 things of sugar also. This is all from our road trip this summer, and I never unpacked it. I don't need the beef stick. But I've got various drink mixes, and this has helped me because I used to be addicted to Red Bull, and I am not drinking sugar-free Red Bull anymore. I have options of different drink mixes, electrolytes, things that kind of keep me going throughout the day. I do not like whatever this is, True Labs. I got this at Costco, do not care for it. I do like this Ultima watermelon, but I thrifted this thinking that I would use it as a crock for utensils, but it isn't tall enough. So I had this idea, if these jars will fit, that basically gives me 6 areas to put some of these in. This one's my favorite. It's the Plexus. This is not a sponsored video. I love their sweet tea flavor. It is my absolute favorite. Don't even know if I can fit all those in there. Blueberry flavor. I've got some watermelon element. Can you tell I like watermelon? Oh, this is peach mango. Getting down to the end. If you get to this point and you just feel scattered, I encourage you to just start putting your categories of things somewhere on your shelf or in your cupboard. And just get it put there for now, and later you can come back in with a fresh eye, and it's so helpful. And then maybe you can tweak things, change things around, try different things, but at least you can get everything put back in your pantry. I'm already changing this up. I'm going to bring most of this down here because I want to access our snacks, our bread, tortillas really quickly, and I want them at eye level. These are supplements that I take daily or weekly, and they need a container. I'm really happy with the way everything is fitting, and I've gotten rid of a lot of old stuff and trash. But I completely forgot I have an entire another shelf, so I need to move it over here. This is a large Lazy Susan that acts like a tray, and I use it for all of my oils and vinegars and some wine that I use for cooking. I tossed 28 things in the trash and 7 items went to donate. Here's what the pantry looked like before. I had my work cut out for me, and in this case, I did it all in one day. It did take me 2.5 hours, but remember, you can do it in less. Here's what the pantry looks like now. What an improvement. If you don't have a whole day, you can easily take one section at a time. I actually did not go through the drawers and cupboards at the bottom. I only did the open shelving. So I'm planning on 15 minutes for each one of those sections. I highly recommend labeling. It is so important for your family, even if you live alone. It tells you exactly what can go in this spot and what can't. It makes a huge difference in maintenance. This corner cabinet used to drive me crazy. Stuff would just get shoved in there, lost back in the back. But now I can grab my crock pot or my Instapot and not have to move anything to get it out. And this is all that I have on the bottom shelf. This has been a game changer. Thank you so much for joining me on the Peaceful Home. Happy decluttering.